All right guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another new video. It is fall time and trapping season has just begun. This is day number one. We're coming out getting all of our sets made. And if you guys have been a long time follower, you'll recognize this spot that we're at, probably by what's in the background. This is one of the properties that we got permission to start off as more so a nuisance area. He had some beaver and he's got a bunch of otters that come in and out of here because he's got a lake on this side where we're at, and then just across the road he's got another lake. There's a bunch of these different drainage ditches that run throughout this property and through a couple other properties, and everything just links into his lakes, and then there's some on the other side of the interstate and all that fun stuff. So like I said, it started out as more so a nuisance thing, and now he's pretty much given us full permission to trap whatever we want. But we do constantly keep traps out for beaver and otter. As you guys are going to see, we're going to probably set a couple 330s if we can find some of their bank dens again this year. If there's activity, we're also going to put a rod in because they're constantly swimming up and down this ditch, going back and forth from place to place. So you guys are going to see us do that. But like I said, opening day of trapping, so we're getting some steel on the ground. And yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm not going to talk too much about it now just because we got to try and get as much steel on the ground as we can. But we are doing something completely different this year that we haven't done at all, and it's going to be a lot more for water trapping and also hopefully some more coon if we can find the right stuff. But I'll talk about that here a little later. But anyways, the first trap I'm setting right here is going to be a coyote trap. Basically the reason I'm setting this is this ditch runs here and these coyotes constantly travel back and forth. And then right here, out here behind you guys, there's actually another fence line that runs down. So these coyotes are constantly working these fence lines and waterways and stuff, and that's how they're traveling corridor to corridor. So we're gonna put a dirt hole set in here, and then we're gonna move on. So I'm gonna get this set and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I get done. All right guys, well that's gonna be the set on this one. As you can see, I'm doing it fairly subtle. Like I said, right here is that opening, and then there's the waterway and then the fence line that runs there. But just right here in the center of it, hopefully to where nobody's gonna run it over if they're driving through here. But just a real small, subtle dirt hole set, just to hopefully get some call lure out there and see what we can catch. We do have a few people around the area that do coyote trap too, so we do have some that are fairly educated, and we have others that aren't fairly educated. So we've actually never caught a coyote on this property. I really thought we were going to last year. I think we had one or two set out here, and there's tons of coyote sign, but we just never came up. So anyways, we're gonna move on and see what else we can find. All right guys, so we're back to our normal crossover here that we usually set every year. As you can see, the otter cross over here all the time, and there's times that we actually catch a coon. You can see it goes right there under the truck, comes back out there, right down through the grass over to the lake. So we're gonna put a 220 on this side, and we usually set one on both sides, but the reason we're not gonna set one on that side this year right now is there's a lot of deer that are using that. So if we put a 220 there, we take a chance of deer walking through and kicking it and setting it off. So we're just gonna put one on this side because it's definitely not deer going in and out there. So yeah, let's get this set made. That's simple. All right, guys, so we got another trail coming up here. Another good one for a 220. So we're gonna set a 220 on this and see if we can come up with anything. Alright guys, so we're doing something a little bit different this year, and that's what we're out setting right now. So it's not like we're on some property that we've been on in the past. So we're just out here basically looking for runs and all sorts of other stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of water trapping at this location, but we found a real nice crossover that we think there's some coons along with some beavers using. So we're going to get a 220 set up here. And here where I'm setting, where this trail is, it's in a natural low ravine. So basically I'm just putting it in here where it's kind of bottlenecked down. These critters are used to walking right through this stuff, so hopefully we show up tomorrow morning and we got something in. Alright, so we got another trail here that I'm assuming is more so coons and stuff. Put a DP in. That's simple. 2 sets down. Alright guys, well we got 2 more set here. Just set a couple dog proofs. As you guys can see, this trail right here, it winds all the way through that grass. And then there's another trail that slowly goes up that way. So kind of at an intersection with this one. Gonna walk through here a little ways. And we got another DP set there. Looks like a pretty hefty deer trail, but I'm guessing these varmints are running the same thing with where we're at. And it's hard to tell on a lot of these where your coons and stuff are, because so many leaves on the ground and there's so much grass here that you don't get to go off any tracks, and a little bit of everything walking here. So we're gonna see what happens. All right, y'all, welcome to check day one. Unfortunately, we didn't get out as much steel as we wanted to yesterday. We had to do a little running in the morning that was really necessary, so had to get that done. And then by the time we got back and got things situated in the truck that we needed for setting, we were cutting it close on a little time. So we came out and got one piece set that we really wanted to get set this year, and just pulled up to the first two traps, and Alicia done got her a muskrat. This is that one we set right away. All it is just a dry land crossing in a little ditch. Runs back down into here, into a little bit of swamp area. We put a DP right over there. Hasn't been touched, so Alicia's gonna get this rat out of here. And guys, I promise we're getting her done, but these setters are a little janky. I've been trying to use them for the 330s the days that my hands are too cold. But yeah, good looking rat. We're starting the fur right. We're on the board. But we're gonna get this reset and we're gonna get out of here and go check the rest. Stay tuned. All right guys, so we're on to the next set. This is a rod we put in. Unfortunately, we didn't quite have the sign that we were looking for in beaver, but we did find there was a slide and a trailer right here that goes up to them trees, and then up between them trees there's actually some beaver scat. So we're like, well, that's the best sign that we can find right now. So we took and put a caster mount just offset of where the slide was, because there was nothing defined on really to where I could have put a blind set in. So we threw a caster mount set in here, walked over, and we got us a coon floating. So not quite what we were after, but it's fur. Oh. Not the biggest coon in the world. But it is a coon. All right, get this reset and get on down the way. All right guys, so we actually just pulled up to this, ran everything else. Ran everything else, came over here, noticed our trap was gone, looked around in the water, looked on the bank, couldn't find it, went and ran everything else, figured somebody maybe snatched it because there was a catch circle. Came back over and we got us about a 50 to 60 pound beaver. Quit. So just waiting for it to expire now, and then we're gonna get him in the boat and get out of here. All right guys, well, we're back over on the lake, and wow, this is a whole boat. That's a nice coon. That's a real nice coon. So first check on this property. And we got us a nice coon. And yes, I'm using setters because my hands are tore up from a lot of stuff, and it hurts to set. So that is a big coon. It's a good one. and he did exactly what we were hoping he'd do. You guys can see the stand right there. He got in that, flopped right down off the trail, didn't tear nothing up. So we're good to remake this. So that makes 2 coons on the day total. And hopefully we can get this done and get some more property set today. We're not really running a whole lot right now. Set right back how she was. Get our safeties off. Fluff that back up. She should be ready for another one. Actually, we're gonna dress this up a little bit. Got a little bit of a bare spot. Here we go. That's a real good coon. Nice big boar. Alright guys, so we also set this blind set here. As you guys can see, this trail right here. I've never really done this much dry land with these small 1.5s or coils. So we figured we'd try it a little bit this year if we can find some good spots for it. And we've set 220s on both sides here of this crossover set because there's always been otter scat up here. And we ended up getting us a rat. So now we just got to try and figure out how we're going to dispatch him because I really don't want to put a hole in him and go from there. Alright guys, we got to try and sneak down this now. This is the biggest pain in the bootay. Well, if you guys remember this, we actually caught a really big beaver out of this. Last year or the year before, I think. And there's no really fresh sign over in the lakes, but there is nothing but sign. I wouldn't even say sign down here in this ditch. But we've had a lot of success. I don't know why down here, but this ditch runs miles. It actually goes under the interstate here, and then there's like 3 or 4 other lakes on the other side too. I mean, as you guys can see here, there's muskrat tracks everywhere, beaver tracks all over now, coon tracks everywhere. So we always try and get something, at least down here in this ditch. So we always try and put a drowning rod. This is about the deepest water, and that's because this tube comes in and keeps this a little washed out for us. So it's the best spot we got to put a drowning rod, and by the looks of it, we got us a beaver at the end of this, which we're really crossing our fingers and hoping for. Oh yeah, not a giant beaver, but 2-year-old at least. But any beavers that we can take out of this property, we'll take it. Yeah, nice little 2-year-old. And now this is something else I want to show you guys too, because I know not everybody can, you know, either afford actual footholds for beavers, or you just don't have them around. Guys, this right here is a bridger foothold for coyote. As you can see, it's offset, dogless. This is the bridger number, oh, I want to say 3. I think is what these are. But for the longest time, Alicia and I did not have footholds for beavers. And to tell you the truth, we still only have 4 of them. And I don't have enough rods, because I mean, instead of buying drowning rods, we just make them out of rebar, tack a nut up on the top, weld it solid, that we have something to run your T-handle through, or whatever kind of anchoring system. And then I just take a little, you don't even need something this long, but we take another small scrap piece of rebar, put a couple welds on it, that way your slide can't go any further, and it actually helps you hold the bottom of your rod in. And that's what we're using too, guys. So don't be afraid to, if you do have some coyote traps with a little wider jaw, don't be afraid to put them on a rod too. When we got into trying to beaver trap, we're like, you know what are we gonna even do for this? Because we didn't, oh nice, we didn't have the full and proper stuff for it. So we're like, you know what, we're gonna work on it, try and figure out our own, and that's what we came up with. So anyways, I'm gonna quit talking, get this set, because like I told you before, we ain't got much out yet this year. All right, guys, well, we're back here at another one of them drainage ditches. This is actually the first property that we ever started trapping. Just kind of where it all started. This ditch used to be absolutely plumb full with rats, but the first year we started, muskrats were actually going for a real good price, so we trapped them pretty good. There's still some in here, but we're not really trying to touch them if we don't have to. Just kind of let them build back up. Hopefully the market goes back up for them, but if we catch one here or there, we catch one here or there. But we're gonna set this pipe, as you guys can see. If you remember from the years past, this pipe actually used to have a black wrap on it, and they came in and redid it and put this white wrap on. But you can see these coons and stuff are still using the crap out of it, crossing back and forth from field to field. And this is that same trail that we've set before. One year we actually went 7 days for 7 coons on it. It don't look like a whole lot here, but I mean, from all the sign on the tube, and when you get down in here, you can, I mean, it's beat down. So we're gonna get a 220 set on this quick, and then move on, see what else we can find. All right, guys, so we're on our crossover set here, where you guys have seen Alicia and I take some otters in the past. And they're definitely using it again, this crossover. But we got a new issue that arose last year. And if you guys just take a look right here in front of us, you'll see what our issue is. This is actually, there's a settling pond up here that, if you guys have been with us, you've seen. Like I was just talking about over at the last set. We were setting for muskrats in that as well 2 years back. Caught quite a few, but as you guys know, we've been in a drought pretty much all year, and so there shouldn't be really any water in here. But this beaver that has moved in has blocked this drain tube up now. So it's holding a bunch of water in here. That's problem number one. Problem number two is that Logan was a goofball last year when we were setting for him. And when I set my rod, I forgot, didn't have sticks for directing them. So he didn't come up where I needed him to come up. And we ended up missing him. So now I definitely believe there's more than one in here. And the one that's in here is big. So we're gonna set this like we normally do. Where'd I put that other thing of grass? Oh boy. There it is. I believe we might have found 2 bank bends. So we're gonna see if we can get a 330 in them. We only got one out here with us today. We got a few more back at the house. Well guys, it wouldn't be a Seek Thrill video if it wasn't for Logan not recording an outro out in the field. So unfortunately this is what we got to deal with. But opening day, got some steel out. Not as much as we'd like I explained in the video. Kind of started adding some steel as the days went on, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, doing something a little bit different this year, as you guys saw. Doing a little bit of trapping on the river, and just gonna see what we can come up with. Something completely new to us with the way the beaver and otter prices are. We really wanted to try and focus on a little more water trapping this year rather than just coons. So that's kind of one of our big reasons on why we started it. But we're also trying to figure out how to catch some more coons out there on the water as well. So we're just going to kind of try some different stuff throughout the year and see where it goes. So thanks for watching. Make sure you guys stay tuned, because we have a few more trapping videos that'll be available for you guys here in the future. So thanks for the support. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And then drop any comments you guys have down below so we can stay in contact with you guys and yeah, go from there. So anyways, catch you guys again here in Seek the Thrill Outdoors.